Harriet Rose, hello. Welcome to The Truth in My Opinion.
Cody Dahler. I learnt yesterday how to say your surname. Never been 100% sure.
Okay, that's interesting. A lot of people do struggle with it.
Well, it's just because you just don't... It could have been Dahler.
Yes.
Like Pitbull.
That's interesting.
Dahler.
Like, is that his surname?
No, he just loves to say the word Dahler.
Oh. Okay, Dahler.
Yeah. It's Spanish.
Okay.
Espanol, no?
Okay.
I don't speak Spanish, but...
Okay. Well,
just so you know, I'm just listing things about me
about
that you
yourself
don't know.
up top. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Harriet Rose does not speak Spanish. Brilliant. But yes, you asked how to pronounce my name by saying, "Is it like Jeffrey Dahmer?"
Yeah, I said, "Is it Dahler like Dahmer?" And you said, "Yeah," and I said, "Makes sense."
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. I'm always getting that comparison, unfortunately. Harriet Rose, are you well? Are you good?
I'm so well because I walked here.
You did.
We're neighbours. Isn't that nice?
That is very nice. What was it? 11-minute foot commute?
Yes, 11-minute foot commute. Imagine if you were living where we live and you saw us two together. Double celebrity spot. Wow, very different kinds of
my cat
people.
is freaking out about this.
Yeah, my cat's already mentioned it to me. He's like,
Really?
I love Cody's videos. He speaks like this for some reason, like Liza Minnelli.
Harriet, the question I ask every single person who comes on this podcast is, are you a newsy person?
Okay, this is going to be a bit cringe.
Mm-hmm.
You've actually made me into a bit of a newsy person.
Okay.
So when I first met you, it was because I walked up to you at the gym.
You did, yes.
And I said, I love your videos. And it's true.
I was there, if I remember right, I was pulling some like 150 kgs or something.
You were
That was
deadlifting a person.
That's right. Yeah,
and I said, that
that
seems unsafe. But you carried on.
I deadlifted you by accident at one point.
Yeah.
It was a really awkward first interaction.
It was super hot for me as a lesbian. I was like, deadlift me to hell, my friend. And I said to you, I need to be mansplained. No, I'm joking. I need somebody who is more knowledge. And I won't say the word cleverer because people get annoyed with me. I'm not necessarily book smart.
Okay.
So having because I have ADHD, so my brain is going 800 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You are basically politics and news for people with neurodivergence.
Do you know this has this has been said about the videos that
Has
so
it?
many people comment being like, I've got ADHD. Thank you for changing the background every 3 seconds.
Yes, and thank you
it does
for
something to the brain.
Explaining to me politics in a way that I don't feel stupid.
Bless you.
Because I feel stupid quite a lot.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel stupid.
I feel like a thicky dum-dum.
Yes, fantastic. Yep.
Also, what a tagline. Whenever I talk to people about you, I'm like, he's the guy who's like, don't be a thicky dum-dum. They're like, oh my God, yes, I love him.
So many mixed emotions I feel when I hear that. Yeah. So many people come up to me, you might have to cut this out because it sounds like blowing smoke up my ass. So many people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, I love your videos. I watch your videos all the time. What's your name? And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
No, by the way, same.
Really?
People will come up to me and be like, oh my God, I love your podcast. What was your name again?
Yeah,
because
interesting.
Because we
it's
are...
a product, isn't it?
But also we're delivering. We're not the... And I think this is an important thing to remember when you're a presenter, because you're kind of a presenter. You're a journalist. I don't know what you would describe yourself as.
I don't know either, really. I struggle each and every day. It gets murkier
Political
by the hour.
But I think what we are is facilitators. So we are facilitating a good time for people. And I think for me, what people know me for is how well I can speak to other people. What people know you for is how well you can articulate subjects.
Interesting. Yes. It's funny. I went on Newsnight the other week, and apparently, when they put your name up on the screen and then they give you your title, the title was changing every single time my name came up on the screen.
Really?
It was like Cody Dahler, satirist, comedian, political commentator.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they have no idea who the fuck I am.
Because you're also a comedian.
Yes, I'm also a comedian. I mean, that's kind of what I think I am, but maybe I have to become aware. The more journalists I talk to, they're like, no, you're kind of journalist.
No, but people say that to me and I'm like, no, I'm not, girl.
I guess it's just passing on information is just today journalism.
And you're very funny.
Bless you. For God's sake, Harriet.
God, I'm going to leave this house holy. I've been blessed ever so many times. We are close to a church.
We are indeed. Yes, that's the film all my videos there.
Bless me.
Bless you. Harriet, you have brought us 4 fantastic headlines.
Yes.
And what I'd first like you to do before we get into the meat of your news programme is please deliver in your best newsy voice the headline you have brought for our wonderful Patreon subscribers.
Okay, Patreon subscribers, hi, you sexy things. Can I just say, a lot of money been spent on these, so let's take a second for that. Okay, ready? Great white sharks are already in UK as they venture further north than ever.
That's fantastic. You can tell you work in radio because
Yeah.
that is the radio news voice.
Yeah.
Yes, there's been a 13-car pile-up on the M25.
And moving on, Shirley MacLaine turns 60.
Brilliant. Okay, well, there we go. Sharks. If you're a fan of sharks and want to be more of a fan of sharks, then head over to Patreon and subscribe.
Get locked in.
Yes, get locked in. Just search the Truth in My Opinion podcast. We're going to move on to the main episode now.
Yes.
Could you please deliver in, once again, your Kiss FM radio voice?
Yeah.
Your very first headline.
Okay. Heavy metal fans left vomiting after concert goer does huge poo in mosh pit.
It's very good. Do you want to, it's kind of self-explanatory, but do you want to go into some of the details?
So somebody did a shit on the floor of a heavy metal show, which I feel like when you think about different kinds of music shows,
Yes.
heavy metal involves headbanging, right?
Yes.
Which, if you don't know, is this. Which means your head and face is going closer to the floor than most other gigs. Most other gigs, heads are up, heads are forward to the stage.
That's so true.
So
And that's also, I imagine, creating some sort of wind spiral as well. So
Yes.
there's a lot of air movement. But this was a gig for the band Devil Skin.
Good one. Good.
The band Devil Skin sound quite scary. It was scary. They were in a mosh pit. Someone did a big poo, and they had to stop the show.
Yeah, because of course.
Of course. Well, I guess you would, yeah. But because of the moshing, everyone was standing on the poo-poo, and it was spreading, and it was going up everyone's legs.
But also, but the point is, right? Poo is transcendent. Like some poos, it will go straight down the loo. Some poos, it doesn't hit the sides. It just goes all the way. You know, when you do a secret poo, have you ever done
Like a ghost poo.
ghost poo?
Yeah.
Exactly. Secret poo. Shh, don't tell anyone. I mean, I've done a few of those. But a ghost poo, this was not a ghost poo.
No.
This was a atom bomb.
Yeah, this was the opposite of a ghost poo. Everyone saw it. Everyone knew it happened.
I think it was a bit wet.
Well, apparently it just, I don't want to bring the mood of the podcast down so early on, but apparently someone just saw it slip out of someone's leg, like short leg. And then it landed on the floor. They were like, that seems a bit poo-like. And then suddenly, because everyone's moshing, it spreads immediately. But there are quite a few details in the story that I do find quite funny. So one witness called it a night ruiner.
Yeah. Which I'm like,
I guess you would.
I'm like, hey,
That's a bit of a night ruiner.
don't let it ruin your night. Just because someone else's shit has gone up your leg.
Just because you're covered in shit, don't let it ruin your night. But I was laughing when I was reading this article because it's obviously in New Zealand, and a lot of these statements that this journalist has taken are very, very funny in a New Zealand accent.
Oh, let's do
And
it.
so there's one. So we have New Zealand listeners, so I'm going to caveat this accent with a big apology, but I'm going to give it a go.
And you are more than welcome to send us voice notes of doing Cody's accent.
Yes. So if you want to send us a more accurate New Zealand take on this statement, please do. So it's like, here's what one of the concert goers said. The smell obviously hit them, and then people started spewing in response to that. And then eventually someone must have looked down and noticed there was just a huge mess of shit. Just completely spread all over the mosh pit, all over the floor. It's on people's feet. People are wearing skirts and shits up their leg and stuff. And then one girl went, blah, just vomited on the shit. And then everyone else starts vomiting. That was a legitimate statement taken in this news article.
The beginning sounded like
It
sounded like someone taking notes at a business meeting. Like the beginning was literally reporting. Sounded like me doing the news. Like that.
It did actually. It did.
Yeah.
And like I say, big caveat to all the Kiwis listening. Very, very sorry.
That was a really good accent, I think. I think they'd be happy with it.
I don't think it was really good. I think with practice it could get okay.
It started iffy and then it got good.
You're right. I did warm up.
Yeah.
I definitely
It's your
warmed up.
first crack.
But you'll be pleased to know that the concert did begin again with no one on the mosh pit. But what's sad is the person was escorted, they said voluntarily escorted off the premises.
Sorry. We need to just talk about the person.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I think about pooing,
Yeah.
which I do often, I don't know sort of logistically, and I don't know because there might be some sort of condition that causes this.
Yes.
A poo couldn't fall out of my bum. My bum hole is tight.
Okay.
And for you, jumping up and down, could a poo fall out? I feel like there's There's an element of push that has to be involved in a poo coming out, unless there is a caveating. There might be a medical condition involved,
or you might just really, need a poo more than you've ever needed in your life.
But do you sacrifice that for music? Like, are you like, I need a poo more than I've ever needed a poo in my life, but this tune is so banging, I've got to stay.
Harriet, you're not going to believe this, but what's happening is that more and more people are pooing at gigs.
I've seen this, other articles.
So actually, you're right. People are sacrificing their general dignity to see musicians now. There was another article connected to this one about people going to gigs and wearing diapers. So yes, this is legitimately happening. So
can I just say, I would bet £100 that none of those people are women.
Interesting.
That no woman is shitting in a crowd.
Well, so this article...
Maybe I'm sexist.
No, you might be right. But, so, two major artists have spoken out about this, Olivia Rodrigo and Noah Khan. Noah Khan actually said... actually, both Olivia Rodrigo and Noah Khan have said they have been at gigs and they've smelt shit. And it's because
Could be a bad fart.
So, it could be... But actually what's happening is people are then leaving diapers at venues and more stewards have been like, why the fuck are there loads of diapers around? And they've made the connection that basically people are going to gigs and because they want to be front row, they're getting there hours before and they don't want to sacrifice their position. And they're literally shitting themselves in diapers. Okay,
so it's men and it's children. Like, it's men and it's teenagers, because it's maybe teenage girls. Yeah.
Yes, the barricaders. But
what's the barricaders?
When you go to like a festival and you'll be like, you're walking and then you sort of hit this part of the crowd and everyone's sat down. Everyone's just sitting down with their legs crossed and you can't get any closer.
I've never seen that in my life.
The barricaders.
Do you know why? Because I don't go to the fucking front.
Interesting.
I am done with that.
I've
done
it.
I
love the front. I'm addicted to getting to the front.
I literally could not think of anything worse.
I know. That's partly why I like it, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want to make this experience worse? Absolutely.
Yeah, do you want the thrill of potentially breaking a rib? Get to the front.
Get to the front.
I did it. I tell you what, I did go to Glastonbury to see Beyonce headline. It was my first ever Glastonbury. And we did that. And what happened was, before Beyonce was like, and I can't remember who it was, but it was like a Slipknot. So all these barricaders were there, right? Sitting on garden chairs, like, but then they got sort of ripped out of the place because Slipknot or whoever it was came on.
Yes.
But I was ready to mosh. Luckily, no one shut themselves there. But I did some moshing, got to the front, and then what we did, no one shat. But I will say we did make a circle and girls peed individually in the circle.
Yes, okay. Well, that is the slightly more dignified way of doing it. I mean, the big question to me is just like peeing in a diaper is bad enough, but shitting, I mean, for Christ's sake. Harriet, could you please now deliver your second headline?
So this one is a little bit more serious.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do a silly voice. But the reason I brought this one is because I think it's an important topic to discuss as opposed to the legal side of it. YouTuber and rapper found not guilty of raping woman in Australia.
Okay.
Now, this is a dark one to bring. And I wasn't sure whether to bring it. I wasn't sure. I'm nervous to talk about it. And I want to caveat it by saying I'm not discussing him. I don't know him. And I don't want to pass any judgment or speak about him in any way. What I want to discuss is the headlines of this specific thing, because as a woman in 2026, it's very, very difficult to read headlines like that when actually, factually, it's not the whole truth of the matter. So the reality is that he was found not guilty of 3 counts of rape. 3 counts of the rape were actually a hung jury, so they weren't able to reach a verdict. And then he was found guilty on 2 counts of assault.
Yes.
For me as a woman, in terms of the feeling of fear of the whole of your life as a female, there is a tinge of fear that comes with existing. And I'm a white privileged woman, so even more so for people of colour, for black people, it's even more dangerous for lots of different reasons. But for women in general, it's a very scary headline to read.
Yeah, so it was an 8-day trial. the rapper was found not guilty of 3 sexual penetration without consent charges. The other 3 resulted in a hung jury, meaning they couldn't decide if he was guilty or not. He was cleared of a strangulation count and 1 of the assault counts. However, he was found guilty of the other 2 assault counts relating to allegations he bit the victim's neck and breast.
So to be found guilty in a court of law for sexual related crimes is known to be, again, I'm not a lawyer, but it's known to be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a lot of friends who have experienced sexual assault and a sexual related crime who've never even reported it because of the chances of it being thrown out, the chances of it being disqualified, and also the chances of it ruining your life. Like, this isn't a thing that women do because it helps them, because it gives them anything. I don't really understand the narrative that women are doing this for their own personal gain.
Yeah. Well, like you say, these cases take often years and years and years to go through the courts, which means years and years and years of these victims sort of having to relive those moments. So yeah, the idea of it being like spiteful or something like that is ridiculous.
And I think literally when we bear in mind the amount of sexual assaults and rapes that don't get reported, the statistics aren't reliable anyway. But the reality is, if you're taking it all the way there, it means you have enough evidence to do that.
Yeah.
And even in that case, a lot of cases get thrown out. And I think the reason I wanted to bring it is because as a woman in 2026, it feels really scary that the immediate reaction by the media was to put not guilty.
Yes.
This person is not guilty, which is factually incorrect in terms of the entire case. But what they were doing was using a clickbait headline to then create a response from what we now know to be where people are getting their news, which is influencers and TikTokers and Instagrammers, people like yourself who do spread news in a way that people can understand it, but not everybody has the same intentions as you. And I saw a video of a guy dancing to a song and essentially basically being like, he's free, he didn't do it. And he later retracted it. The day after, he retracted it and was like, I didn't read the article.
Yes.
And I think, listen, we all skim read articles. We all don't necessarily. But when it comes to reacting to a rape and sexual assault case and celebrating somebody being found not guilty, it feels so scary as a woman to see that video. Why do we need to celebrate something like that? Why is it that we are so quick to villainize the woman? Every single video I saw about this case, the top comment was, what are we going to do to her? What are we going to do to her? What? So you want, like, it's almost like this idea of like the speed at which we want to punish women is so scary to me as a person. And 1 in 4 women experience sexual assault in their lifetime or rape. 1 in 4 women. Yeah. There's 2 women in this room. So, you know, it's like the statistics are so high. And I just think it's a really scary, scary headline.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really glad you brought the story because I can't imagine how terrifying it is to see, like you say, our traditional media actually peddling this kind of really, really dangerous information.
Yeah, and I think my main point is to talk, I guess, to try and speak to men in a sense where I really do, and I can't understand it because I'm a woman, but I can feel sympathy for the fear around accusation. There is, I believe, this element of men believing potentially that rape is one thing and it is a violent act that happens down a street that is dark and no one's, you know, and it's a stranger. And it's just, that isn't the reality of rape and sexual assault. And actually it is a reality, but it's not the reality. And I think what we need to recognize is that nuance is so important. And the only thing we can do to solve this issue is education and communication, is teaching young boys what consent means. People view rape as one thing and it's not that simple.
That's right. I mean, this case in particular was originally a consensual sexual experience that then became non-consensual. And when you then look at the allegations that he's been found guilty of, which is, you know, biting and bruising, you can absolutely see how that scenario became non-consensual.
Exactly. And a first time meeting with those kind of things, there is an element of learning there. We need to learn. We don't need to accuse. We don't need to come back on this situation and be like, see, she's lying. That's not the truth, because he's been found guilty of two things, two counts of assault. What we need to look at is, what is consent and how do we teach it to people? How do people understand it better? How can we, as women, feel safe to say no and to stop a scenario even when it started off as something else? I just feel scared. I feel scared for young girls. I feel scared for young women. And also, in other realms, young men, this is something that affects lots of people. And it's a conversation we all need to start having with young people. Yeah. Consent, and how do we make this better for everybody?
Okay, Harriet Rose, could you please now deliver your third and final headline?
Noel Edmunds faces backlash after releasing tank lobsters into the sea.
Okay, so fantastic headline. I'd like you first for any non-English listener, and maybe any listener who wasn't watching telly between the probably mid-1980s to the mid-2000s.
What were you doing?
What were you doing? Who is Noel Edmunds?
Noel Edmunds is one of the most famous, I would say, 90s, noughties, 80s, 90s, noughties TV presenters.
Yes.
He hosted Noel's House Party. He was essentially who would you compare him to? James Corden? The James Corden of the...
Yes, Noel Edmunds started on Kids TV.
Yes.
You may know a slightly more famous person that Noel Edmunds is directly associated with, which is Mr. Blobby.
Him and Mr. Blobby...
Yes, they were a pair.
They're not scissoring, sorry.
They're not scissoring, they're a pair, though.
Yes, it was a great show.
It was a fantastic show. He's a kind of staple of British television. He hosted Deal or No Deal, the game show that took over the world for a bit.
100 years.
For 100 years.
Yeah.
He then got really fucked off with the UK and now lives in New Zealand. Second mention of New Zealand. New Zealand. Shut puss. Everyone's throwing up, vomiting in New Zealand.
Shut puss.
Yes, shut puss. He now lives in New Zealand.
I actually didn't know that he lived in New Zealand, but that's good info.
He moved there and spent millions of pounds on this huge estate, but he splits his time between New Zealand and the Isle of Wight, which takes us to this story in which he and his wife have released 2 tank lobsters, by which we mean they have gone to a farm shop, they have seen 2 fucking lobsters in a tank, and they've thought, we're going to free them, we're going to pick them up, we're going to go down to the harbour, and we're going to drop them in the sea. He posted this video, and there was a bit of a backlash, wasn't there, Harriet Rose?
So the other thing to note is I think they were actually having lunch. So I imagined it in my head, like, those films where it's like, Madame, and they pull the lobster out of the fishbowl, and I think it was her being like, no. And it was truly okay. So listen, he's a great guy, but the story of this is so funny. If you watch the video, it's him filming her releasing these lobsters into the ocean that then just sink. They don't swim. They sink.
So I'm going to save your skin slightly, Harriet Rose, because I think saying Noel Edmunds is a great guy. We'll come on to that. He's perfectly fine, but he's a little bit bonkers. So he, yes,
don't ruin this for me.
Well, he believes in energies. So
I believe in energies.
Well, he's a big energies guy. He believes that positive energy, cured his prostate cancer.
Oh, I thought you
meant... He's one of those.
I thought you meant maybe he was going to be like, he really believes in EDF. He really believes in Shell.
Yeah, he's big into oil and gas. He loves energy.
Wait, so he believes that... I mean,
he just
hate that.
Well, he then said his dad, who died of prostate cancer, died of ignorance. Because he didn't know he could use the power of positive energy.
I do think
cancer.
saying that someone has died because they are not harnessing the power of positive energy is probably bullshit.
Yes, but so
and kind of unfair because my dad's dead, so Noel, that's a bit mean.
It's a bit mean, Noel. Yeah. There was an article, basically. I'm just trying to give context again to the listener who are just unfamiliar with Noel Edmunds. The Guardian did because Noel recently did a show about him moving to New Zealand, and the Guardian wrote this. I didn't watch it either, but the Guardian, this brilliant way of describing Noel Edmunds. It says he believes in the universal energy system, wears combatively tight linen t-shirts, and has baths so cold he fears openly for the future of his scrotum. He is a deeply odd man, and yet, from the depths of the oddness, re-emerges an imperishable truth. Noel Edmunds, for better or worse, is clinically incapable of making uninteresting TV. He is so interesting as a person. And this Lobstergate, as people are saying, is just the latest episode in the massive television box set that is Noel Edmunds.
But it's so true because his whole career has been absolutely berserk.
Very, very berserk, very bizarre man. But sorry, I cut you off before. You're right. Him and his wife went down to the pier and dropped off the lobsters, and they sank directly into the sea.
Yeah. So but it's the smugness. The whole thing is giving savior complex. It's giving
absolutely.
It's giving like, I'm going to save this lobster and I'm going to become the princess. I feel for them because it feels a bit like, do it, don't film it. This is sometimes when I see those videos of people helping people and I'm like, stop filming doing good deeds. We can actually just do good deeds without having to get an audience for it. Also, the main issue, which is written very in-depthly in this article, is that wildlife campaigners do say that does not save them. And in fact, it's probably going to lead to imminent death.
Yes, it says...
Because they won't survive in the wild after being in captivity for so long, right?
Yes, so this is where there's a bit of debate, Harriet, for anyone genuinely, truly interested. The controversy was around, absolutely. Actually releasing these lobsters into the sea, they've been raised in captivity, they've probably got diseases, they're going to spread the diseases amongst the free lobster population, they're just going to get eaten by a seal, blah, 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 blah. You've not helped these lobsters. That was the main backlash.
So are you saying these lobsters have got STIs?
These lobsters have STIs.
Yeah.
However, there's a man called Matt who owns the farm shop from which Noel Edmunds and his wife bought these lobsters.
Right.
And he says they were actually caught in the harbour, then transferred to a tank that recreates the water perfectly and the salinity of the harbour perfectly. So actually, it's just as if they've been living in the harbour. And he says, actually, Noel and his wife probably did save the lobsters. Add another level of interest. If you are listening to this still, you're really interested in lobsters.
Yep.
The species of lobster that was released was indigenous to that area. Where people get it wrong is American lobsters. Big, fat American lobsters that people raise in captivity are an invasive lobster species. And they have barnacles on them. And they've got big, fat American diseases. So when people in the broader country at large see a big fat lobster in a big fat tank and then they go and free them, the chances are they are an American lobster. They are going out into the sea and they are destroying our lovely, gorgeous Isle of Man lobsters.
Are they like the Godzilla of lobsters?
Of course they are. They're American.
Yes.
Of course they are. They've got big bazookas.
Yeah, they've instead of hands,
they're calling in Apaches.
They've got lobster bazookas. They just shoot lobster flesh at
They've all got handguns.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get on top of the gun laws for the American lobster population.
Oh, it's too late now.
It's out of
it's
hand.
all too far.
But basically, there is a, dare I say, there's themes that emerge from these headlines, a little bit of nuance to this story.
Oh, we love a bit of nuance.
I'm literally, I don't want to publicly come out in support of Noel Edmunds, but it does seem that in all likelihood, these lobsters were probably fine.
And also, I do recognise that I said they sank. What else are they going to do? Obviously, they're not going to be like, I'm free! Whoa! And then they flip out of the water like a dolphin.
I was surprised though.
Yeah, but in theory,
I expected them to have a bit of movement, but they are crawlers, aren't they?
They were like,
they are crawlers. Yeah.
They're at the bottom of the ocean going, guys, you are not gonna fucking believe.
Fucking Noel Edmunds. Noel Edmunds. And Noel's house party. Deal or no deal.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, no fucking way. I've got cancer and he healed me.
I should say before we end this third and final headline, if you are out there and you're tempted to take lobsters out of a tank and put them into the wild, the advice is don't. Not because, we feel very sorry for the lobsters. We shouldn't be eating lobsters, but they probably have some diseases that could destroy and kill the environment and more lobsters in the wild. Do you know what I mean? It's a chain. It's one of those classic chain reactions, Harriet Rose, when Noel Edmunds has started the destruction. He loves energy, he loves oil and gas, and now Noel is destroying the habitats of local lobsters in the Isle of Wight.
Yes, please be careful.
Please be careful.
Keep your lobster claws to yourself.
Exactly. Sometimes your compassion can cause some damage.
Yes.
Harriet Rose, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Those were 3 incredible headlines.
Thank you for getting me into news.
I mean, for God's sake, it's about time you were.
I know.
It's about time you were. Long
I
overdue. Do you have anything you would like to promote?
Oh, I have my own podcast.
Excellent.
It's nothing to do with news. We do talk about the news sometimes.
Okay.
It's called By the Way with me, Harriet Rose. And I basically have celebs on and they talk. I got bored when I used to do press runs of having to ask the same questions. I never did ask them. I didn't get bored because I didn't ask them the questions that I was meant to. I just asked them weird and wonderful questions. And so I have a place where they can come and literally talk about a passion that no one asks them about.
Great.
So you can talk about your star sign. You can talk about your sexuality. You can talk about something you hate.
Brilliant.
Like Jonathan Ross came on and talked about how he hates traveling. You know, it's just a fun place you can come and really actually talk about something you want to talk about.
Fantastic. Well, we'll put a link to that podcast
Please,
in
and you
the
can
show
get it
description.
Anywhere you get your podcast.
Literally, it's one of those. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. Harriet Rose, thank you so much.
Cody Dahler, you're welcome.